Hello folks, this is John Oakes here with Hankster's Hot Rods. Today in our Homer City, Pennsylvania showroom, we have, yes, another addition to our inventory, this being a 1981 Chevrolet Camaro Z28. This is the car right beside me here, and again, just to give you a real quick overview of the car before we get started, as I said, 81 Chevrolet Camaro Z28, period correct, 305 cubic inch motor, the BorgWarner 4-speed manual transmission, along with a 350 gear in the GM 10-bolt open differential rear end. And again, just a quickie as far as like the suspension and so forth. We've got KYB Accel G shocks all the way around on this car. The factory wheels, 15-inch with the BFGoodrich Radial tires, and then of course it's power steering and power brakes. So with that kind of as a overall, overview of the car, we'll now go through it all the way around. I'll point out to you exactly everything I'm looking at here, and then after this, of course, we'll go underneath it and show you the condition of the underside as well. So again, our Camaro here, as you can see here, done in what's called the bright or the vibrant blue metallic color here. The paint's actually really nice on this car. It turned out really nice. I know we did, block and polish the car, so it does look very good here. It does, in fact, as you can see, have the lighter tricolor blue decals on it for the Z28s. And again, the decals all the way around on this car are in really nice condition here. As you see, it's got the OE style wheels here, the Z28 wheels. Now these are a 15-inch steel wheel, painted body color, and again you can see it does in fact have the beauty rings, the Z28 center caps. Now as I mentioned, BFGoodrich Radial TA tires all the way around on this car. Up front we've got 215 65 R15s, and then out here on the back we have a set of 255 60 R15s back here. So little difference in the tire size there, just to give it the look that they were going for there. But again, all BFGoodrich Radial TA, so all matching tread on the car. As far as all the things that you would expect of a Z28, you do have the factory hood, the air induction hood, and the flappers on the back do in fact work. Of course, you've got the fender vents here also. That was something that all the Z28s there came with. And then of course, all of our body panel fitment and alignment. As I've been around the car already, looked everything over. All of your elevations are dead on here. Your gaps are very uniform front to back, and they're not big gaps either. The gaps are closed up really nice on the car. And of course, all of your body lines all line up on the car. We do have the dual mirrors, body color also on those mirrors. The glass is in great shape as well. And I believe after we open this up, yes, it is a remote mirror for the driver's side anyway, so you'll be able to adjust that without having to roll your window down. Door handles, they are the chrome door handles here, but they do have that blue inlay on them there. Now the inlay is showing a little bit of its age there, but again, that's kind of what it was there for, to kind of help protect that finish there, and that it has done that. As far as the glass goes, you've got a slightly tinted glass on the vehicle here. No chips, cracks, or scratches on the glass. That all looks good. And all the trim work that you would see, all your bright work, all of that is in really nice shape, having no pitting anywhere around on the car. We'll go ahead and open our door up, take a look at our interior. Now you'll notice obviously it's got the all black vinyl interior. So you've got your front bucket seats, the rear seats also, everything, all the seat belts are all included on this car. So your front seat belts, rear seat belts, all there. Factory dash, factory instrumentation on this car as well. Does not have air, but it does have rear defrost, and we'll take a look at the rear window when we get there. Full full-length center console. You'll see that 4-speed shifter there also. All of that is in good shape. The seats are in good shape. There's no rips or tears anywhere. No rips, tears, or fading in the carpeting either. Tilt steering wheel in this car and power door locks as well. The door panels themselves are in excellent condition. Your bright work, the interior trim inside is in very nice shape. Again, your armrest pads and so forth. These would be an area where you'd see a lot of wear and tear on a lot of cars, but on this one, those are in great condition as well. So that's pretty much the interior of the car from the driver's side. We'll close this up. Oh, before I do that, the one thing we always check too is our weather strips and seals all the way around. So again, as you can see, there's no rips or chunks or anything missing out of the weather stripping up around the windows here. All intact, all secured very, very nicely. Even your door weather stripping here all the way around the door. No rips, no chunks or anything like that. All attached, very good and secure. You also have all of your body tags here too on your door. So that is pretty much it now on the driver's side. Door shuts nice and easy. Of course, on the Camaro, the Z28s, you did have the fender skirts here, or fender flares, just on the front sides of the fenders on all 4 corners. You also had that front air dam, but we'll see that when we get around the front there. Again, as I mentioned there, it does have rear defrost. So again, in your window back here, you'll see the defroster mechanism right in the glass there. So that's a nice feature with this car. You've got all your black moldings around the window, all in great shape, no dents or dings. The black is actually in really nice shape here, and those are secured and affixed to the car very, very securely. Rear speakers in the car as well. Those are probably a 6x9 speaker back here in the package tray to go along with the factory radio that's in there, the Delco FM radio. As far as the rear end of the car goes, we've got our trunk lid here. The gaps on the trunk are very, very nice. Of course, you've got the rear trunk spoiler. It's a 3-piece design. You've got your ears out here on the quarter panels, and then the center section here that raises up along with the trunk. As far as taillight assemblies go, those are in great condition too. I don't see any chips or cracks over here, nor do I see any chips or cracks over here on the passenger side. Again, you've got that tricolor decal all the way across the tail section of the car here, and then your gas cap lid here. You've got the Z28 badging there, and again, that is in fact where your gas filler is. As far as the rear bumper, of course, this year of Camaro, you had the plastic bumpers on it, but the paint is in really, really nice shape on the bumper. Again, with these plastic bumpers, sometimes you would get some cracking, some checks in the paint, but again, on this one here, it looks really, really good. You might see one little tiny crack, but other than that, looks good, and that's only in the paint, not in the actual plastic. Let's go ahead and open our trunk lid up then. That way we can take a look inside. So we'll open up our fuel fill door and we'll get our key in there. So again, the key does in fact work the lock. With the trunk lid up, you'll see the underside done in the same bright or vibrant blue metallic paint. You've got the little rubber bump stops on there, so when you close it, it doesn't just come down on the seals, it comes down on those little rubber bump stops as well. As far as seals and weather strips, well, here you go. Nice condition here, very, very soft here all the way around, and again, in good condition here. Your water channels or rain gutters here, those are all good and solid here. Again, that's going to help direct any water that you would come in contact with, whether it's from the outside elements or from washing the car. It's going to channel that water right away so it doesn't go inside. far as the trunk floor itself, it is in excellent shape. There's no patches, no holes whatsoever. All done in just a regular black trunk paint here. And then of course you've got the front floor mats that do in fact come with the car. Quarter panels on the inside all look good there too as well. And again, your trunk hinges and springs doing what they're supposed to be doing by allowing that trunk lid to be up on its own. No assistance needed with that. We'll close this up. And again, that shuts nice and easy. As I said, your gaps on the trunk lid itself are all very nice the whole way around, all adjusted up very, very well. As we come around the passenger side of the car, same thing here, looking down the side, nice and straight all the way down. Again, you'll see the condition of the wheels, the wheel trim rings, and the actual center caps that have Z28 in them. Again, all in really, really good condition here. As we come up to the door here, again, your gaps front to back, back to front, all very, very uniform. Your door chrome handles here, those are in great shape. The glass, no chips, cracks, or scratches. And again, this particular car, you do not have those rain gutter moldings along the top edge here. It's just all body color right here. A nice smooth transition, so that water is going to shed right off of there. No issues there. We'll go ahead and open our door up. That way we get to see the passenger side of the interior. Again, you'll just take notice that no rips or tears in any of the seats. Same thing with that center console lid. That was an area too on these cars where if you were resting your arm on those for a long, long time, forever and ever throughout the years, you would start to see some splits in that. But again, there's no cracks in there. The dash is nice and solid all the way across. And again, the carpeting is in great shape. Same thing over here, your seals up around the window, all in great condition. Same thing with your door weather stripping too, all the way around. And that's pretty much it as far as the interior. We've gone over a lot of that on the other side. Again, the door shuts good. Again, that mirror over here with the passenger side, a match for the other side of the car here. Those fender vents, again, the wheels, tires that we've already talked to. You'll see those, the fender skirts all the way around on the car. Those are all in great shape too, by the way. And they're all attached to the car very securely on this particular vehicle. As we worked our way now to the front of the car, of course, the front bumper, the whole front facade of the car here, this is all plastic here. Again, paint is in really good shape here. Now up front here, I really don't see any no cracks really to say. I did see just one small stone chip down here right underneath your headlight housing, but other than that, that looks really good. Your hood, again, this is a steel hood. This would be your factory hood for this car with the hood scoop there, the air induction hood scoop, and it's got those tricolored decals on it as well. As we come back here to the windshield, again, you got just a couple little teeny tiny chips in it, but again, this is probably an original windshield for this particular car. The black molding all the way around the windshield here is in great condition. And yes, it does have windshield wipers. They're just recessed. They are sitting underneath the hood right now. But again, the wiper arms are in great shape and the wiper blades are in great shape also. Coming back to the nose of the car here, headlights, traditional sealed beam unit, glass lenses, no chips or cracks anywhere in these headlights. You've got your lights here, your directionals or your parking lights here. Those are in good shape for the most part. I do see a little crack in the one lens here. Other than that, the other side looks pretty good. The grille areas here are both in good shape. There's no cracks or breaks or anything there. Those are all good and solid. The Z28 badging up here on the grille. And then underneath it, of course, you've got the front air dam that also has the those tricolor decals there that go the whole way around the vehicle. So with that said, We've been all the way around this car. Now we're going to go ahead and get the hood open on it for you so we can talk a little bit about the motor and some of the components that we see there. To do that, I'm a little short. My arms aren't quite long enough to reach underneath the nose, pull the latch, and lift the hood at the same time. So if you give us just a second, we're going to do that, and then we'll be right back with you to go over what we have underneath the hood here on this car. All right, so we do have the hood open now, and again, there's nothing wrong with it. The hood popper mechanism does in fact work just fine. It's just, again, when you have short arms like I do, it's just a little difficult to get it open there, so that's why we had to pause real quick. Anyways, underneath the hood here, again, all steel hood, all steel construction, all the bracing here is all intact. You see you've got the provision here for your air cleaner assembly here, and again, that's going to go ahead and whenever those vents on the back of the air induction hood open up, that's going to suck your air down through the air filter here and then into the carburetor. So that's how that's all functioning, and again, it's all hooked up and all functional. As far as the motor itself goes, this is a period correct 305 cubic inch motor, and again, that's what this car would have come with too. In 81 they did do the 305 on these Z28s, but you'll see it's got the factory style air cleaner here. Your seals all the way around your air cleaner are in great shape. The air filter element is nice and clean on this car. Underneath this air filter, we do have the Quadrajet 4-barrel carburetor, and it does have an electric choke. That's all sitting on a cast aluminum intake there also. Now again, it's got the stock heads on it, stock appearing valve covers, and then you also see that it does in fact have the OE style exhaust manifolds. And again, I know a lot of people still leave these on these cars for the simple fact that they just seal up so much better, and depending on how much room you have in your engine compartment, sometimes a set of headers just isn't real feasible to do. So in this case, they probably seal up great, and they still perform okay as far as the exhaust goes. As far as ignition, they does have an upgraded HEI ignition on it with Accel 8mm plug wires to help deliver the spark to the engine and help burn that fuel. So that's a good little upgrade there on the car. As far as brakes and steering, well, again, we've already mentioned it's got power brakes over there. They are disc brakes up front, drums on the rear, and the emergency brake all hooked up, and we'll see that here in just a little bit when we go underneath the car. Power steering as well, which functions just great. All of your belts and everything all look to be in good condition on the car. All your heater hoses, all of your radiator hoses all look in really good shape. All hose clamps are good and secure. No leaks, no drips anywhere here on the motor that we can see. The radiator is just an OE style radiator. Fan shroud is all intact. It is not broke or cracked anywhere. That looks good. Got your steel fan here, and that is in fact the clutch fan on there as well. Now, as far as the exhaust goes, again, like I mentioned, the stock manifolds emptying out into 2¼ inch exhaust the whole way back to the mufflers, and it is a dual turbo style muffler. And then they have off of the mufflers a set of 2½ inch exhaust tips or pipes, tailpipes that is, exiting out the back of the car there. As far as the transmission, it is in fact the BorgWarner manual 4-speed. And then, like I said, as far as the rear end assembly, the differential on it, it is a 350 gear 10-bolt rear. It is the big 10-bolt though, 8½ inch ring gear, and that is an open differential. Other than that, like I said, all the suspension is OE style. It's got the KYB Accel G gas shocks on it all the way around, the multi-leaf rear suspension on the back of the car, and that's pretty much the overview of the car. We've been all around it. We're now going to go underneath it after we get everything closed up here. But while we're at this section of our video, this is where I always tell you that depending on where you're viewing this video from, always go to our website, www.hanksters.com, and check the car out there. There you're going to be able to see upwards of 100 photos of the car, also the video that you're viewing right now. You're also going to see all of the options, all of the details on this car. They're going to be right there on our website for you to see. I think you can actually go on there too and print all of those things out. You can save photos and everything there. If there is anything at all that you would be wanting to add to this car, like for instance, possibly air on a vehicle like this, we do that kind of thing here. All we ask is that you reach out to us by phone, email, or text. Let us know what accessories, what things you would like to have added, what things you maybe want to have changed. We'll be glad to get you a quote on the parts and the labor to have such things done, whatever it is that you are looking to have done. So yeah, there's a whole host of things that we can do for you there. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Like I said, give us just a moment now. We will go ahead and close this up, get underneath the car, and show you the complete underside. And real fast, once you go to our website, you're going to see the retail pricing there. You're going to see that that does in fact include enclosed shipping anywhere within the contiguous 48 states. And it also includes our Hanksters 3-month, 3,000-mile powertrain warranty. And if you're interested in how that works, also reach out to us by phone, email, or text, and we'll be glad to go over that with you as well. Let's go ahead and get this closed up. We'll go underneath it next and show you the condition of the underside. All right, folks, so here we are. We've got our 1981 Chevrolet Camaro up on our lift. So we're just going to jump right into it here, go through the complete underside here with you, kind of point out everything it is that we're looking at underneath here, and just go over the overall condition of everything here. So starting at the front of our Camaro, first and foremost, of course, it's got all the ground effects, all the fender flares on it, and as part of that, you do have that front air dam or that chin spoiler there right across the front. Again, it's in great shape. It's not cracked or anything, and all the proper hardware is there to mount it. It is good and secure. As far as the radiator goes, across the bottom here, nice and dry. Everything including the petcock here, the lower radiator hose, and the hose clamps and so forth, those are all in good shape. No leaks or drips there. The shroud on the bottom side here, all complete. There's nothing broken on it. So again, that's going to help pull the air through the radiator and help cool the car down. As far as the suspension goes on the car, first and foremost, you start with the cross member because, again, everything bolts right off of that cross member. So the cross member is good and straight underneath here. Does not look like it's ever been bent or dinged on anything. So that all looks good. The upper and lower control arms, these are going to be just your standard OE control arms, both upper and lowers. Ball joints on those have all been checked. Same thing with all the bushings at all your mounting locations. Everything all checks out on the car and looks to be in good shape. Shocks on the car, these are going to be the KYB, the G series shocks on all four corners of the car. So everything should handle just fine and absorb all those shocks and everything. And as far as the steering and the suspension, to kind of tie that in, we do in fact have an 1 1/8" sway bar on the front of our car. Sway bar bushings both at the frame and back at your sway bar end links all look good. There's no cracks or splits anywhere, so everything should be good and solid up here on the front of the car. As far as the steering, it's power steering. We do in fact check our drag length, our pitman arms, tie rods, tie rod ends, and all of that all looks to be in good shape. All of the ball joints and so forth, everything all have the little rubber dust boot covers on them to help keep that grease in and any dirt and debris out, helping those last a whole lot longer. And you can tell that everything's been greased and maintained, you know, pretty much on a regular basis on this car. As far as the braking system here, we do in fact have disc brakes up front here. Now again, this car, it's just basically, you know, just GM stuff here. So again, whenever it comes time to replace those consumable components, things such as your brake rotors, your brake pads and such, you'll be able to go to just about any auto parts store, ask them for the 1981 Camaro stuff, and they should have that stuff fairly, you know, regularly available for you. As far as the wheels and tires, we've got 15-inch steel wheels all the way around. Of course, you've seen from our external walk around video, these would be the factory style Camaro wheel or Z28 wheel, painted the body color, like I said, 15-inch, and then of course the tires on the car. These are going to be the BFGoodrich Radial TA tires. Up front, we've got 215 55 60s. And as we get to the back, I'll go over those again with you, but they are 255/60 R15s out on the back. Again, all BFGoodrich Radial TAs. So again, your tread's gonna all match up on this car. Now, while we're here, we'll go ahead underneath the center and we'll talk about the drive line here as we're up towards the front here. So the engine itself, again, it's that period correct 305 motor, small block Chevrolet. What we're looking at is we're looking at the oil pan, checking where the gaskets and the seals and so forth, if there were any leaks to go over, this is where we would see them. There is nothing here. Nice and dry as far as the oil pan goes. Same thing at the drain plug. There's no leaks or anything at the drain plug. Moving back just a little bit further, the transmission. This is our BorgWarner 4-speed manual transmission. It does in fact have the cover on the front to help protect that flywheel. And again, all your lines going in, your speedo cable and such, your side cover and everything, all of that nice and dry, no leaks at all. Even back at the tail shaft here where your output shaft seal is, and that's where your slip yoke slides into the transmission. That is nice and dry also. Transmission cross member, nice and straight. The actual mount is in good condition as well. Before we move too far back, the exhaust system on this car. So we've got stock cast exhaust manifolds at the top, up at the motor. They're coming off of the heads. We have the full 2¼ inch exhaust coming all the way back into a set of dual turbo style mufflers. And then the tailpipes. The tailpipes are going to be a 2½ inch tailpipe. They do in fact go up over top of the rear end and then they exit out the back of the car, but they do poke down through right between the leaf springs and the quarter panels. Of course, we'll see that here in just a little bit as well. As far as the frame and floors go on this car, very nice frame and floors here. The subframe itself is in great shape, nice and straight, good and square. Does not look like it's ever been touched on anything underneath. The body mounts themselves and the bushings, those are all in good shape. The floor, no patching whatsoever. Very nice floors on this car. You can see all the stamping marks in these, so you know it's the correct metal. All of your bracing and such, all here, all complete. Very nice floors on this car. No issues there at all. Right up the middle here, we've got our drive shaft. Again, steel drive shaft. It is a balanced drive shaft, weighted, so that's going to help eliminate drive line vibration on this car. Pinch welds and rocker panels. The pinch welds on both sides of the car, very nice and straight down both sides. And the rocker panels are good and solid on this car too. Looks like they probably did a little bit of like rock guard on the bottoms of those rocker panels just to help protect those. So again, those look very nice as well. All of your brake lines and fuel lines all run very nice and neat right up along that pinch weld of the car, coming all the way to the back here, nice and dry also. Emergency brake, all hooked up here and functional. So all of your cables, all your frame hooks, J-hooks and so forth, those are all here, all complete, all plumbed all the way back to your rear drum brakes and functional, as I said there. So again, rear suspension on the car, we've got our multi-leaf rear suspension here. As I mentioned before, the KYB Accel G shocks both front and rear. Again, those are in great condition as well. All of your mounting locations and so forth, the bushings and everything on those, all in great shape. Drum brakes on the rear, and again, wheels and tires, same wheel obviously, the 15-inch factory steel Z28 wheel with the beauty rings and the center cap, and then the BFGoodrich Radial TA tires here, 255/60 R15s here on the rear. The rear differential itself, first and foremost, the front snout on the rear end here, nice and dry. All universals on the drive shaft have been checked over, test driven, and made sure that those are all in good condition. Inside the rear, the actual gear on this car is a 350 gear. This is an open differential, 10 volt, but it is the Big 10, so it's an 8.5-inch ring gear. And you can see the differential cover here, nice and dry all the way around on the car. As I look up here, looking at the trunk from the underside, it looks to be in great condition too. No patching whatsoever. Fuel tank looks great. There's no dents or dings anywhere in the fuel tank. Mounting straps and all your hardware, that is all in good condition. And again, fuel lines all the way back and coming up and going up over top of that gas tank, as far as what I can see, is all nice and dry on that car. And as I said before, there's your tailpipes from the muffler up over top the rear end housing, and then of course they come out here right between your leaf springs on both sides and then exit out the rear of the car. That is pretty much it for the underside of our Camaro here. So what we're going to do now is, as we always do, lower this thing down now, open the hood up. We'll go ahead and fire that motor up. That way you get to hear exactly what it sounds like. And then of course, you know, if you have any questions, always go to our website, reach out to us there, and we'll be glad to answer anything it is that you might have questions on.